This has been one of the most intense pass openings I've ever been a part of, and it has been tremendous fun. It has been 3 days of non-stop fighting, and kudos to all the kingdoms participating in this zone. If you haven't been spectating this KVK, then don't worry. Later in the video, I will show an overview of our map to see how much progress has been made in order to secure Kingsland. What you're seeing on the screen right now is just one of the many open field skirmishes we had, and I gotta say 2755 has really great motor balls, very effective, very dominant. The weaker point has been the rallies and garrisons in comparison, but that can be improved. This is their first season of Conquest KVK, and they've been a tremendous job so far, in my opinion. All this footage comes from the second day of fighting and the third, because on the first day, like pass opening was so laggy. I'm I'm not sure how I got out without being disconnected once, but I could not control my marches for the first half an hour. They did not respond to my commands, and I wasn't the only one. It was pretty much for the whole server. So I really focused on my fighting, and I stayed up for like 5 hours, and I got less than 3 million kills, which was a little bit disappointing, but it was the first day, so no problem. This was the first time I used fire marches on the field. I've used fire marches in the past before, but they were really not good. So these are my meta marches, and the fifth march was Scipio with Mehmed. And I would say I perform better with four marches still. Pairing one with Scipio is still the play, and later in the next KVK perhaps I will finally have a fifth march that is very adequate to compare to the other four. I use a mix of T4 and T5s, so my marches have 324k troops with 50% expansion. I use 30% of that with T5s, so 97k T5s, rest T4s, except for Trajan, who has all T4s for the mobility, and it's a waste to use T5s on Trajan because he does no damage. He's only there for buffing the other four marches. Speaking of Trajan, I've been very happy about his performance with Mulan. I expertise Mulan a couple weeks ago, and I really noticed a big change to my march's survivability, sustain, and the damage output once I focus on a target, which is exactly what I want. And with the fifth march I have in mind, this should make it even better. So I could even say Mulan plays an integral piece to my skill damage puzzle, and honestly I couldn't be happier, even though my voice doesn't really reflect that, but take in mind this was done in the morning, so as I've said in my account overview video, I'm not a farmer. I'm not a consistent farmer. My farms have been neglected for so long. I don't remember the last time I logged in. And I fight until I have no resources and until I have no resource tokens in the inventory. Luckily, I still haven't reached that point, and I think I still have a good amount in the tank, and especially when it comes to deaths, I've been lacking in those. But like I said, I really wanted to experiment with the 5 marches to see how much more output could I get with an extra march, and I realized it hasn't been that great because the fifth marching is not something I really want to use in the future, and the equipment is obviously very pale in comparison. Going against 268 is a good test for the whole kingdom basically, but also for me because it's an Imperium kingdom, so it's obviously stacked with good players, and I've been getting relatively good trades. So you've seen my equipment, you've seen my marches. I am over 30 million crystals spent, so I've been focusing on my troop tech tier 2, and it's been a slow grind. I've been neglecting it a bit, but the fighting takes precedence. My personal goals are to reach 2 billion kill points. I'm not that far off, probably around 5 more million kills. As for the kills, I try to reach 15 million, but ultimately my resources are the deciding factor on how much I will get. And yeah, I just try to have a good time. I've been training relatively well, as I said. And if you like the KVK, if you like the video, then subscribe if you haven't. And I'll try to cover more content, especially in the next zone, but I will not be making any videos, so probably next Saturday as well. So I'll see you in the next one.